At Betterhood, we invite you to take up Centenarian challenge.
I'm going to live a life that is pain-free. Diagnostics is an advantage that we have right now.
Aging not as a definite decline, but something that we can do a lot about. Welcome back to the Aging Matters. So far, we have covered posture, recovery, fitness, and nutrition. But none of it works without the right mindset. At Betterhood, we invite you to take up Centenarian challenge. Think about your 100th birthday. Are you trekking with your grandkids, playing tennis with your friends, or dancing at the family wedding, or just standing tall, independent, and pain-free? Whatever the vision is, you will have to start building for it today. Aging well begins with believing that it's possible and then showing up for it every single day. Today, along with Shayamal Vallabhjee, we'll explore how culture, mindset, and belief shape up how we age. Let's start. Hello, Shayamal. Welcome back.
Welcome. Thank you so much. This is my favorite subject, mindset.
Yeah. So, in the aging journey, in the aging well journey, how is mindset important, Shayamal?
Mindset is everything. Whether in the aging journey, how you choose to live, how you choose to eat, how you choose to parent, how you choose to embrace the choice of food you make. Every single thing is a mindset. You wake up from the moment your feet hit the ground in the morning, your mindset is dictating it. Actually, even in the night when you go to sleep, your mindset will dictate. Most people don't fall asleep, they pass out, out of sheer exhaustion. They say, with sleep science, the body takes about 15 minutes to transition into sleep. Most people don't take 15 minutes. They either take 2 minutes or they awake for an hour. And that's a sign of chronic exhaustion in the mind. So for you to even have a quality sleep requires the right mindset, requires you to make decisions around your environment that allow you to transition. So mindset is everything. It's in every single detail around us. And our relationship to everything is your mindset.
Very well. So, in the journey of aging well, if we have to pick few mindset shifts which are essential, what would those be?
I think some of the mindset shifts are, firstly, a belief system that I'm going to live a life that is pain-free. You have to fundamentally believe this. If you have grown up from an environment where you've seen your elders being sick, you've seen people make certain decisions where their food choices are really, really bad. If you've seen someone come from a place where disease and popping pills is part and parcel of that life, then that belief system is already in you. The first mindset shift is that does not have to be my reality. The first mindset shift is that I can choose my reality. I can choose to be pain-free. I can choose to live a life without allopathic medicine and without medicating myself. I can choose a life where I make quality choices around the food and the quality of the movement I have. So the first mindset shift is a shift in belief that what I saw does not necessarily have to be what my life is like. The second mindset shift is that I want movement to be a part and parcel of my life. I will move well. I will start my day, end my day with movement. Right. Irrespective of what's happening around me, movement will be a part and parcel of it. Now, the interesting thing is that some of us have already embraced certain beliefs and certain mindsets. For example, everyone will wake up in the morning and they brush their teeth. Even on the worst day of their life, you ask that person, did you brush your teeth? And they would say yes. They may not be able to remember brushing their teeth, but they would say yes with 100% confidence. Now, brushing your teeth is not an essential part of life. You won't die if you don't do it. But it's essential for good hygiene. So you have subscribed to that mindset that this practice is good for my hygiene. That's why you do it even on the worst day of your life. Similarly, we need to buy into certain other practices that may not be essential for life on that day, but are good for longevity. Movement is one of those. Making healthy food choices is another. So all of these things wrap around a belief system. But the most important thing is, with mindset, you are a byproduct of the people you surround yourself with.
Absolutely.
So if you are surrounding yourself with people who are eating unhealthy, consuming a lot of drugs, consuming a lot of alcohol, it's going to be not impossible, but significantly difficult for you to step away from that. So you have to start to surround yourself with people who fundamentally want to embrace that same mindset, that want to embrace a similar belief system, and then you walk hand in hand down that road.
Right. Very powerful. Shayamal would like to talk about the diagnostics and the mindset around diagnostics here, because for most of us, if we feel fine, we would not do health checkups, right? However, what gets measured, only that thing could be improved. So in that context, what do you have to say about or mindset about diagnostics?
So you're 100% right. People only get assessments done, tests done, scans done whenever pain is present or whenever they're feeling unwell. Diagnostics is an advantage that we have right now. We have ways in which we can look inside our body, we can look at our pathology, invasive and non-invasive, and ways to tell us what is happening. This is a massive, massive advantage. Most people operate out of a fear-based thing. They don't want to know. They'd rather be ignorant about something that's happening until they feel it, as opposed to, I'd rather know early so that I can correct it. It's a very, very fear-based psychology that's happening right now. And reshifting that is really important. Now, the reason why it's important is if you can get regular tests done or regular scans done, especially as we age, you're building a data set that, God forbid, if something does happen, at least the specialist you go to has got a large enough data set to make an informed decision. Most of the time we blame medical practitioners, but they don't have a data set that's reliable. They only have the data when you were ill. So they have nothing to tell them how long it's been there, when was the last time you were well, what is the rate of growth, is this normal, is this not normal? They have no data. So that is because we are ignorant and we don't want to embrace that. And the interesting thing about this is that, like, if you talk about it from an orthopedic, postural, musculoskeletal point of view, most people would go to an orthopedic when they have chronic back pain. The orthopedic would most likely prescribe an MRI, and 89% of people will have a disc bulge or disc compression, especially if you're more than 40. Right? But of the 89% of people who would have a disc compression, less than 20% of them will present with the symptoms of pain. Okay. Now, when you show that to the doctor and he does that, he's going to connect all of the disc bulge to chronic pain. Right. But if you had an assessment done when you were feeling great and a bulge was there, then you're able to give him enough information to tell him that that bulge that you are seeing is asymptomatic. Can we look somewhere else? This is just one very, very simple example around wrapping our minds around the importance of diagnostics, especially because we're moving into a world where it's so cheap and so accessible.
Right. So, Shayamal, we have been hearing you and you have emphasized that small, consistent actions are important than the intensity. Why is that so in the context of aging?
Because as we get older, it's easier to motivate yourself around smaller actions. The smaller it is, the easier it is to do. So I tell people, most people finding an hour to exercise will not happen. Some people say 30-minute workouts, it will not happen. I said, if you reduce it down to a 2-minute or a 3-minute routine that you need to do 10 times in a day, even if you don't do it 10 times, you'll do it 3 times. The smaller the habit, the easier it is to execute. It's just because of motivation, the science of motivation. It's easier to motivate us to do something that we can see the end of. Most people don't start something if they don't know how it's going to end, or if they cannot calculate the end, or they do not have enough time, they won't even start. Most people procrastinate not because they're lazy, procrastinate because they just don't have enough information or they don't have the time. So how do we circumnavigate that? We circumnavigate that by keeping things very, very simple and reducing the time frame. So this is why tiny habits can reframe our entire behavior. And I tell people, we spoke earlier on, I said, it's not about the ceiling, it's about the floor. I tell them, Don't try to push the ceiling. So don't try to make your biggest workout even bigger. Try to set the floor with easy 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups, 5 minutes of skipping, whatever it is. Right. Because the good chance that if you do 10 push-ups, you will go on to do 20 or 30 or 40, right? And keep the floor at 10. Don't keep raising it, just keep it at 10, because if you do 10, you will do 50. But if you set your goal at 50, you won't even do 10, because if you don't have the time. So this is the importance of really micro shifts. Micro shifts are very easy to understand, very easy to digest, and very easy to execute.
Shayamal, in the Indian context, we often equate aging with gradual physical and mental decline. And this pessimistic view we saw in our families as well, and that was one of the reasons we started a Betterhood. That is not the right view, absolutely right. So how do we change it? How do we make society to see aging not as a definite decline, but something that they can do a lot about?
I mean, there's enough evidence out there. There's enough living examples of people who are living well past 100, that are very mobile, very this thing. We have to look around us for these positive examples. And we have to be aware that we can make choices that increase the quality of our life. There is no shortage of evidence. There is no shortage of solutions. Betterhood is creating so many of these solutions. There's no shortage of information. Okay? So everything's coming down to choice. Now, as a younger person in a family, you have to embrace the mindset that I am going to be the person that changes the genealogy in my family. I'm the person who's going to make sure that every generation after me embraces movement. Everything starts with me, right? Yes, our parents may be old. They may have come from a completely different life, completely different mindset. And because they may be in chronic pain or have fear, expecting them to embrace it naturally could be difficult. But if you're a younger person between the age of, say, 25, 35, 45, you have the power to change the entire fate of every generation of yours moving forward from now. The question is, will I take this power or not?
So we can have control over how we age, and democratizing this control is the mission that we have set out Betterhood with. Hopefully we succeed. Shayamal, so we are at the end of this series, this conversation. So if you have to pick up one singular message out of this entire conversation for our viewers, what would that be?
My last message to everyone, especially around psychology and mindset, is that we're a byproduct of what? Okay. Good things happen, bad things happen, but irrespective of good or bad, something will happen in your brain. Your brain will play a tape. It will tell you something. There will be a narrative. My last message to everyone is our best chance of living vital, best chance of living healthy, our best chance of changing the mindset and changing the mindset of people around us is what? Is if that tape in our mind is a voice of kindness and compassion. The moment you choose to be kind to yourself, the moment you choose to be compassionate to yourself, the moment you choose to forgive yourself for whatever happened and take a positive step forward, everything in your life is in your control and the impact will be positive. There is absolutely no question about this. So there's one thing I want them to take away is I want them to be mindful of the words they say to themselves and keep those words kind, positive, and rejuvenating.
Thank you, Shayamal. Aging isn't just physical, it's cultural, emotional, and deeply personal. We all have to remember that health span is a choice. Start small, stay consistent, and with every step, move towards your betterhood. Stay tuned. Thank you.